Picture this. Your best friend shows up at your door, tears streaming down her face, and you find out her boyfriend shoved her so hard she fell and bruised her back. Now imagine you had the power to ruin that boyfriend's entire future without ever lifting a finger. What would you do? Because that's exactly the choice I had, and let me tell you, I didn't hold back. If you've ever dreamed of watching karma strike someone who truly deserved it, hit that like button and subscribe. Because what I'm about to share is one of the most satisfying stories of revenge you'll hear today. 1. The setup, relatable, emotional warmth. Back in the early days of the internet, when online class registration wasn't even a thing yet, I was just another college student trying to figure life out. I had recently moved in with my girlfriend. Let's call her Lucy, to save money on rent. Life felt simple, even fun. We'd invite friends over, have game nights, cook cheap dinners, and laugh late into the night. One evening, Lucy invited a friend from one of her classes over. Her name was Sara, and when she walked in the door, I froze for a moment because I actually recognized her. She and I had gone to high school together. We weren't super close, but we'd always gotten along. That night, the three of us clicked instantly. We played games, swapped old stories, and laughed until our stomachs hurt. From then on, Sara became a regular part of our little group. She'd come over for movies, dinners, and more game nights. It was fun, like we were building a little family. But every story has a shadow, and in this one, that shadow was Sara's boyfriend. Let's call him Jay. Jay came over a couple times with Sara, but he never fit in. You know that person at a party who sits in the corner, arms crossed, scowling at everyone like they'd rather be anywhere else? That was Jay. He barely spoke. When he did, it was usually cold or dismissive. He didn't laugh at jokes, didn't join games, didn't connect with anyone. It was painfully clear he didn't want to be there, and honestly, none of us wanted him there either. But because he was Sara's boyfriend, we tolerated him, out of politeness, out of respect for her. Looking back, maybe we should have seen the red flags sooner. One night, everything changed. Sara called Lucy, sobbing. Her voice was shaking, and through the phone we could barely make out the words. "Can I come over? Please." Of course, we said yes. When she showed up, her face told the whole story. She was pale, eyes swollen from crying, her body trembling. Slowly, the details spilled out. Jay had accused her of cheating. With who? She didn't even know. Maybe with me, maybe with Lucy, maybe both of us. Paranoia didn't matter. What mattered was what he cornered her. He screamed at her, called her names I won't even repeat here. And when she tried to push past him, tried to leave, he shoved her. She stumbled backwards, tripped over a coffee table, and crashed hard onto the floor. The next day, a massive bruise stretched across her lower back. When Lucy told me about it, I felt my blood boil, my fist clenched, my heart raced, and my mind screamed. This is not okay. Sara tried to defend it. That was the first time that we probably acted. But deep down, we all knew once a man crosses the line, he never really makes it. I wanted to hit him, to scare him, to show him what it feels like to be powerless. But I'm not that guy. I'm a big dude, but I've never been violent. So instead, I thought, if I can't break him physically, maybe I can break him another way. And that's when the perfect plan fell into my lap. At the time, I worked part-time at the administration office of the college. My job gave me access to student records, class schedules, fees, ID numbers, all of it. Now, here's something you need to understand. Foreign students like Jay must stay enrolled full-time to keep their student visas. If they drop below a certain number of classes, they risk being kicked out of school and even out of the country. The deadline to change classes without penalty was just days away, and I had Jay's information right there in the system. The temptation was almost too easy. So, on the very last day possible, I made my move. Step 1, I dropped every single one of his classes. Gone. Step 2, I re-enrolled him into every course that had an extra fee attached. Lab fees, equipment fees, art supply fees, if there was a way to charge money. I signed him up. The result? His schedule was wiped clean of the classes he needed, and instead, He was drowning in fees he hadn't agreed to, and with unpaid balances, the school wouldn't release transcripts or records. Then one afternoon, I had completely dismantled his semester. Now, I didn't tell anyone about it. I wanted to cover my tracks. So for weeks, I didn't check the system. Didn't mention it to Lucy or Sara. But then, the payoff. Sara had an English class. She dreaded sitting in the same room after they broke up. We had no choice. Until that day, she told us later that the classroom was full, even though the students were standing in the back. They were one in each chair. The professor frowned, pulled out the phone, started roll call. Names were called. One by one, students answered. But when the professor got to Jay, nothing. He wasn't on the list. Jay tried to argue. I'm in this class. Check again. The professor shook his head. If you're not on the roster, you're not in class. In front of everyone, Jay was dismissed, embarrassed, powerless. And from that day on, Sara never saw him in that class again. Eventually, Lucy and I broke up, so I lost touch with Sara. A while later, curiosity got the better of me, and I checked Jay's records one last time. The fee-heavy classes I'd enrolled in dropped, but his schedule was still empty. No classes, no enrollment. Did he get kicked out? Did he lose his visa? I'll never know for sure. But one thing I do know, he never got to torment Sara in that classroom again. And honestly, that's enough for me. Sometimes, late at night, I wonder if I was too harsh. Then I remember the bruise on Sara's back, the tears in her eyes, the way she still tried to protect him even after he hurt her. And I remind myself, he deserved every second of it. So no, I didn't throw a punch. I didn't scream in his face. Instead, I hit him where it really hurt, his education, his future, and maybe even his right to stay in the country. Mess with me if you want, but mess with my friends, you'll regret it. Revenge doesn't always come with fists and shouting. Sometimes the sweetest justice comes quietly behind the computer screen, with a few carefully chosen keystrokes. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button.